Hello and welcome to the latest Sun Racing preview in association with Betway. I'm Tom Bull and I'm delighted to be joined in the studio this week by Jack Keene of Sun Racing and Chad Yeomans of Betway. It promises to be a fantastic weekend this weekend. We've got Marsh Hurdle, Paisley Park returning after winning so well at Newbury last time out. We've also got the Tommy Whittle up at Haydock, as well as two other very good races to talk about at Ascot. First up, guys, we'll start with Paisley Park. He looks pretty unbeatable, doesn't he, Jack, in the big race?
Well, first, Billy, I think you need to cut down on the old fags, mate.
Yeah,
my voice
has gone a bit. My voice has gone a bit.
Yeah, Paisley Park, he's in a class of his own in this staying hurdle division, and I mean, we'll probably keep this quite short and sweet because he's far superior to the others in here, and as long as he runs to his form and jumps well, he should get round and win pretty comfortably.
Absolutely, he's well clear on ratings, isn't he?
Yeah.
If everything goes right, he should do it, shouldn't he, really?
I don't think anything will get close to him. He looked really good at Newbury.
Yeah.
And as you find with stayers, when they're the best stayer is always the best.
Yeah.
Big Books, Ingles, Drever, Barracuda, just to
You're
name a
absolutely
few.
right. And Emma Lavelle can't seem to do any wrong at the moment.
No.
Just training winners for fun. Obviously won the Ladbroke Trophy as well. Talk about Lammy Surge. We won the entry hurdle in quite good style actually last year, but he's probably going to need this, I would imagine. If he did manage to beat Paisley Park on his return, it'd be very, very pretty extraordinary, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah.
And the World's End obviously put in his place by Paisley Park last time, so it really does all point to Paisley Park, I think.
Yeah.
We must quickly mention Jack's amazing week last week, where you had we tipped
Four from four, mate.
4 from 4. Absolutely,
Even
very
a broken
impressive.
clock and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement then. Paisley Park.
Yeah,
just
Paisley
wins.
Park. Yeah.
Just
Indeed. Now on to the Silver Cup at Ascot. 3 miles. Looks like a really hot race this year. A fantastic field in this. Bellamy de Picton going to try and keep the fantastic run of Venetia Williams going. Chad, I know you're a big fan of this horse.
I am indeed. And as you mentioned, Venetia Williams' horses are absolutely flying. 10 minutes before we started filming, she was 10 winners out of her last 26, but I believe she's had another one.
Indeed,
momentarily
and
at Medley.
absolutely bolted up.
Yeah, her horses are absolutely flying. She could do no wrong, as you said. 4th in the Bet Victor Gold Cup on the seasonal debut was very good. Behind Happy Diva.
It was a very good performance.
Yeah, really good. Venetia has plenty of winners in these big Ascot staying chases and has done over the years. The likes of Dare Me winning.
Yeah.
I think might have even won this race a few years back. I think he's a right favourite. Lightly raced. There's more to come from. He is lightly raced for an 8-year-old as well. I think he's only had 7 or 8 runs.
And the forecast is very bad this week. We are likely to get a lot of rain, and that will just suit him down to the ground.
He'll just keep going. Keep going.
Absolutely.
I did also think that this race is more suited to OK Corral than the Ladbroke Trophy was.
Okay.
Those who were there at Newbury on the schooling morning would see that he was slightly
Carrying a bit of
in my
he was
shape.
a big boy.
Just needed a little bit of work.
He had Tony McCoy on board.
Yeah, that's certainly. But he looked like he needed it, and
yeah, he lost his right shoe in the Ladbroke Trophy. So
absolutely. So
there is an
and
excuse
if he does run in this, he's been dropped £2 for that. This looks more his race where he'll just be able to come off a pace, and I think that he'll run well. But I do like the fav.
Okay.
I do like the fav.
Bellamy de Picton for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm in agreement with Chad, actually. I think Bellamy
You're
de
afraid?
Picton. Yeah, well, we want to mix it up a bit, don't we?
Yeah,
I can't help it. I actually quite fancy this horse. Like you say, he ran really well in the Bet Victor. He was actually badly hampered after the second fence that day. So, I mean, his race was virtually over after 2 fences. So he never really had any chance after that and kind of just hunted around out the back and stayed on 1 for 4. So I thought it was quite an encouraging effort, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you say, he's open to further progress. A yard of flying, loves soft ground, so I think he's got plenty in his favour. I do quite like Kildesart as well. I'm just not sure he'd want it properly bottomless.
Yeah.
He bounced off the good spring ground when he won at Aintree in April. I mean, he had a good pipe opener behind Lost in Translation. The fourth came out and won a race at Donny last week.
True, so
form's pretty solid. So I think Kildesart's decent chance. Benny's King, another. Up £11.
Really improving, isn't he?
Yeah, won at Newbury last time.
Yeah.
Handles the ground, so I think he'd be a danger. But for me, Bellamy de Picton, probably the one I'd side
Ticks all
with.
the boxes.
He does tick all the boxes. You can't really grab him at all, can you?
Just on that, Jack, we killed this out. Would the Ben Paulins form or lack thereof? Would that be a big?
Yard's been very quiet, and I mean, I don't know.
Closed
Have they
down
had a virus?
Yeah, closed down for a couple of weeks. They had their first run in last week.
He had a winner last week.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So that would obviously be a concern, definitely.
But I'd want to see another 10 or 15 wins before I start backing it.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
I quite like Bellamy de Picton. You can't not like Bellamy de Picton, but at the prices, I'm going to side with Give Me a Copper. We don't know what he's going to be like if the ground really does go very soft. But he might get it, we just don't know. He's quite a big horse. He's a very, very good jumper, and I was really impressed with the way he put it to bed in the Badger Beers chase last time at Wincanton. He's only up £6, which I thought was pretty fair. Yeah. And I mean, the way he won that suggests that he has got more to come. He's still very unexposed as a chaser. He hasn't had many starts. And I think, considering Nichols is so good at these big races, I can see him going very close. I also quite like Acting Lass, who finally got his form back together at Chepstow last time. Cheek pieces were put on then for the first time, and they obviously worked a treat. If he can continue to improve, then I can see him going close as well. He won at Ascot as well before. One we should probably mention is Creve Hill, who was so impressive at Haydock last time. Yep. Up another £10 to a mark of 155, which is it's high.
He's gone up £17 in 2 runs. I don't think
a lot, isn't it?
It's going to be deep ground as well.
In the right kind of mark for winning a Ryanair.
Yeah.
I think he's way off that.
No, I agree. And Mr. Malarkey, you stayed on last time for 4th in the Ladbrokes Trophy. Sorry, 6th, I think he actually was. I can't remember. Anyway, without really challenging the leaders.
Yeah.
He's dropped £2, but I think he needs to show a bit more. I mean, he won the Rendlesham last year at the track, so at least we know he likes that. As you mentioned, OK Corral earlier, and then Kildersart, Black Courton. No, I can't really have a top weight. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's not the same horse he was. One who could run well is Regal Encore. He won this. Yeah, he's won this over this course and distance many times. Absolutely loves it. And I mean, he's not the most consistent performer, but if everything goes right, he's got a big chance. So I think both of you in agreement then, Bellamy to Picton.
Indeed.
For the big race, and I'm going to side with Give Me a Copper. Hopefully he will like the ground. Moving on now to the ceaselessly competitive Betfair Exchange Trophy Hurdle, formerly known as the Ladbroke Hurdle. This looks a really hot race, as it always is. French Crusader and Croix de Nerf youngsters heading the betting here, with the likes of Umbrigado and Who Shot the Sheriff also in the mix. Jack, come to you first. What's your view on this?
Yeah, as you say, fiercely competitive. We've got a couple in here who've got some really solid handicap form already to their name. I'm quite interested in this Umbrigado taking a big drop in trip.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, back from 3 miles. He was 5th in that big handicap at Haydock when he's coming back. I mean, he had some quite smart novice form last year. Well, he had the speed to win over 2 miles on soft ground round Southall. When he beat some nice horses that day, he had Mac the Man in behind. Won a big part of Sandown the other day. Cage is another decent horse. So I think he's got the pace to cope with it. He'll handle the ground, and I think if it's a stiff track at Ascot, if it's going to be really testing ground, you want something that's going to stay well as well. So I think he's got plenty in his favour. And obviously the Yard won a big pot at Cheltenham the other day as well. So it's nice to see them back in form.
Absolutely.
But
I get
plenty of
the
chances
feeling with him. The stable, or at least people who know the horse, think he is on a pretty good mark.
Yeah,
because he was really heavily punted for that Haydock race, and I think he's already quite short in the betting for this. I think so.
Yeah, single figures.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. He's got a big chance. What are you, Chad?
This is actually quite liking the race. Not so sleepy. I think it's at the right end of the handicap. Good Ascot winner last time out. Morrison's Yard is absolutely flying. They've been going really well for the certainly the second half of the year. I think he's a cracking each way bet, and he certainly was earlier in the week. Croix de Nerf on that Greatwood run, finishing 4th, was bang there at the last. Reproduction of that would see him go there. Absolutely. Again. Evan Williams flying.
He is, yeah. Rockers have had a Grade 1 win recently, haven't they?
Yeah. Really interestingly, I don't fancy it, but I'm really interested to see Tamarok do Mathan run for Nichols. Yeah. Finished 2nd behind Master Debonair, 7 lengths behind. But it's interesting that he's put him in a handicap of 135, as opposed to going graded novice hurdles, as you think he probably would with his good novices.
Yeah.
So whether he just thinks that his mark of 135 is lenient, and he's got a chance to.
I think Nichols likes him. There was a press day at Nichols yesterday, and he said he thinks it's a nice horse, but the ground he's got no idea whether he'll handle it or not. Which I guess for a few of these, it's a complete. You don't know whether they're going to handle it.
But he's only ever had one race course, British full race course run, and that
was a good
enough run. Travelled, caught the eye. And came from off the pace where Master Debonair led and
his form could be boosted on Friday as well, Master Debonair.
Yes.
If he runs in that Kennelgate.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see if he's well supported beforehand. Okay. I do think he ran a nice race.
Lovely. What about the other two?
Not so sleepy. He'd probably be the pick of mine. Okay. Not so sleepy, just on the fact that he's at the right end of the handicap.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with Who Shot the Sheriff. He was up in it with a very strong pace last time at Haydock, all the way. Only just faded out of it late. That was over 2.5 miles. He's dropping back in trip now, which I think he will absolutely love. I do think he's got a big pot in him. He's improving. He's still lightly raced, and I think he will hopefully get an easy time at the front. And I can see him being very difficult to peg back. This shorter trip should see him last home this time, and I can see him running a very big race. I also really do like the favourite French Crusader, well, current favourite French Crusader. Very unexposed, only had 7 starts, and it was a career best last time on finishing 2nd to Epatante, who is apparently now going for the Christmas Hurdle.
Indeed.
So, I mean, obviously the form is very, very solid.
I think he's still on a good mark.
Yeah.
See, the way he travelled through that race, he looked he travelled as well as Epperton.
Yeah.
Two out. Just couldn't quite go with her. Ground's a big worry for me.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. We don't know at the current whether how much rain there is going to be, but if there is,
it's going to be at least soft.
Yeah,
there'll be rain. There'll be rain this week.
I mean, a lot of these younger horses may well struggle in the ground. We know that much.
Doesn't look like Harambe's going to run, does it?
No, I heard he's not going to run. No, yeah.
But he did say that before the Greatwood.
Okay.
He did say he wasn't going to run. He wasn't quite ready. He picked up a knock, and then he came and won the Greatwood.
maybe he needs to be injured to run well.
Yeah. So maybe that is a few bits of smoke and mirrors, but
yeah. Oh, fair enough. Well, I'll stick my head above the parapet and go. Who shot the sheriff, Jack?
I'm going to go for Umbrigado. I think I would like to mention Sir Valentine as well.
Okay.
Second to Ribble Valley at Wetherby, and I think Ribble Valley is an absolute aeroplane. So I think he's on a nice mark. So I think he's running off 130. So keep an eye out for him. But I would probably side with Umbrigado.
Okay, great. And Jack?
Not So Sleepy, right under the handicap.
Tremendous stuff. Well, hopefully one of us has got the winner there. Now on to the big stamina test of the weekend, the Betway Tommy Whittle. This is going to be a real test in the slog that is Ascot Haydock. It's bound to be soft ground, it usually is. Yaltari, another Venetia Williams favourite in a big race. Chad, I'll come to you first. Who do you like in this?
I like two. We've seen plenty of support this morning for Lord de Mensil. But the two I like, Dak Klondike, last year's winner, won the race very well last year. Now only on a £6 higher mark. I don't think that'll be too far out of his, because he's still improving. But he finished second on his seasonal debut this year behind Diablo de Rouet at Newbury. Was 42 on that day, stayed on takingly, and also was detached out the back in the Elaborate Trophy, but then stayed on encouragingly down the home straight. Things just happened a bit quick for him, I think, at the start of the race. I think he's probably been trained for this.
I'm sure he has. The only thing that strikes me as slightly strange is that it's both his starts this season. He hasn't worn a visor, and he did for all his wins last year, including this one. So I don't know if they're going to. They may put it back on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it just seemed a bit. I don't really know why they've taken
Connections
it off.
had a really big winner last weekend, didn't they? With
Warthog
and Caspian Caviar. So I think it could give them another reason to celebrate. The other horse I like is Vintage Clouds.
Okay.
Second in
Stays all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Second in the Ultima, which is really good behind Beware the Bear, who then finished fourth in the Elaborate Trophy this year.
Yep.
Pulled up last time in the Beach Chase, but made a bad blunder halfway down the back, and that put paid to his chances. I mean, Trevor Hemmings in staying chases at Haydock.
Can't go wrong.
I mean, it's.
And Sue Smith, to be fair.
And Sue Smith. Her horses have come into form since the middle of November, haven't they? And I just think, he's a cracking each way bet, really, at the prices.
Excellent. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a race I've got a real strong opinion on. I never seem to have much luck punting at Haydock, so I'd never really go too heavy there. But if I was going to have a little bet, it'd probably be a little each-way tickle on Late Romantic for Oliver Greenall. He was second to Darasha Counter last spring. Obviously, we know that form's been very much franked. He won well first time out this year, and then off this current mark, he ran at Haydock last time out, but he made a bad mistake at the first fence, just never in the race. Ended up finishing fifth. So if you put a line through that, I think he's probably still on a fair enough mark. He stays well and he'll handle the ground, so I think he's a solid little each way play.
Like. Yeah, I think a case of Haydock in these staying races is almost a case of who can kind of keep going the longest rather than who's the best.
Yeah, and the fences take a hell of a lot of jumping as well. So I mean, if you make a mistake, normally you're cooked, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to give a little mention to Militarian, who sprung a massive shock at Ascot last time, 50-1. No one expected it.
Did he win that amateur race?
I can't remember.
I'm thinking of something else.
Was the amateur race?
I don't know. Anyway, carry on.
I think he's ridden
the amateur rider.
Yeah.
He was ridden by an amateur.
Yeah.
James Martin, who's actually quite good for his £7 claim. But I actually really liked the way he did that. He came around the outside and he was 3-4 lengths clear at the line, stayed on really strongly. And I do think this kind of stamina test is really going to suit him. He's up in the weights a bit, but I'm not too worried about that. And I think the fact that James Martin gets on so well with him, he rides him all the time. I can see him going close at least in this. I do think he has got a lot of stamina, so that would be where my money is going. I think I should give a little mention to Yaltari, Venetia Williams' horse who won at Chepstow last year in handicap company before finishing behind Mr. Malarkey in the Reynoldsdown at Ascot at this track. I think it is going to be a tough ask though carrying, sorry, not at this track, at Ascot. A very tough ask carrying 11-12 in this ground at this trip on his reappearance. I think he's a very classy horse who does stay, but I do think he might need it. Although saying that, Venetia Williams, all of her horses are coming back from massive layoffs and winning, so You can't really, I don't know.
She gets some right, especially this time.
Some
exactly.
trainer, and she
is very, very good. I'm going to opt for Militarian here in this race. Chad, what about you?
I'm going to go Vintage Clouds each way.
Lovely, and Jack?
Yeah, I'm going to go Late Romantic each way, but a very quick shout out as well to the Hollow Ginge, because I know the Twist and Davis team think it could be a national horse one day.
Fantastic. Finally, the Betway Lucky 15, 4 selections from us this week. I'm going to stick Who Shot the Sheriff in. Chad?
I'll go with Vintage Clouds and the Betway Tommy Whittle chase.
Excellent. Jack?
I'll go for Bellamy depicted on in the Silver Cup.
Tremendous. And I think Callum, our other colleague, is going to be putting in Riders on the Storm for Nigel's assistant Twist and Davis, obviously after they had that bit of a shocker last week and they took the horse out of the race by accident. But no, hopefully at least one of those will do the business. But it'd be nice if all 4 did. Thank you very much for watching this week. It promises to be a fantastic weekend of racing, and hopefully the ground won't get too heavy at Ascot, so all the horses can produce their best.